Polynomial functions. A polynomial function is a mathematical expression consisting of terms in variables with non-negative exponents. So a polynomial function deals with terms that are not determined, so indeterminate terms. A polynomial function must not contain a term with a fractional exponent. A polynomial function must not contain a term with a negative index or raised to the power a negative number. So when you have a number being divided by a variable, that is not a polynomial function. So it can be determined by the number of terms or the highest exponential power. And do not forget that terms are being separated by the operational signs, so plus, minus. If they are being determined by terms, then if we have just one term, it is known as monomial function. If we have two terms, it's known as binomial function. Three terms are trinomial. Then, but if it is being determined by the exponent, then it's raised to the power 1. Then we can term that function as a linear function. If it is raised to the power 2, that means squared, then it is a quadratic function. If it is raised to the power 3, a cubic function. Quadratic functions. A quadratic function is of the form ax squared plus bx plus c, where a, b, and c are constant, and a is not equal to 0. A quadratic equation can be solved using the following methods: factorization method, completion of squares, and using the general quadratic formula. A step-by-step guide to factorize. Step 1.
Multiply the coefficient of the square term by the constant term. Step 2.
Find two factors of the outcome in step 1 and ensure these factors meet two criteria.
Their product should give the initial outcome from step 1. Their sum should give the coefficient of the x term. Step 3. Substitute the initial x term with these two new factors. Step 4. Factorize the resulting four terms in pairs. First of all, for quadratic equations, they are always in the form ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So let's rearrange these terms in this form. So since it's negative, when it crosses the equal to sign, it will be positive. For us to factorize this, first of all, the rule states that we have to multiply the coefficient of the square term. Now the square term is here. We have to multiply that by the constant number. So 1 times 2 gives us 2. Then find the factors of 2. So for the factors of 2, we have 1 and 2, and then minus 1 and minus 2. The next thing is that we should use those factors that we found, the two factors. Let's multiply to get the 2 and then add to get the middle term. So 1 times 2 will give us the 2. 1 plus 2 will give us the 3. So that means we'll be using these factors. So we are writing this in place of the 3x. So let's write that. So let's introduce brackets and then factor the common term out. X is common, so x left, then x goes here 1 plus the common term, which is 2. Then we have x plus 2 goes into 2 1, so x plus 1. Since they are the same, we write one of them and we put these ones into a bracket, x plus 2. Now let's equate them to 0 in order to find the values for which the equation will be equal to 0. So x plus 1 is now equal to 0. Now our x value is now equal to minus 1. Then x plus 2 is equal to 0. Our x is equal to minus 2. So the values of which the equation will be equal to 0 are minus 1 and then minus 2. So let's factorize 2x squared plus 3x plus 1. Now we are multiplying the coefficient of the squared term by the constant. So the coefficient is now 2. So it's not always that you get the coefficient to be 1. So now it is 2. So 2 times the constant term, which is 1, that is 2. Let's find the factors of 2. We have 1 and 2. We have minus 1 and then minus 2. Now, the next thing we have to do is that we should add them. Now, if we are to add, we should get the middle term, which is 3. So 1 plus 2 is 3. Minus 1 plus minus 2, that is minus 3. So that means we'll be using 1 plus 2. That will be our factors. Now, this 1 is, so let's write our 2x squared. Now we are replacing 3x with these two terms. So we have plus 1. Let's not forget it is x is attached, so x. But in this case, let's not write the 1. It is imaginary, so x plus 2, then attach the x plus 1. Now let's introduce brackets. Let's factor the common terms out. Among these terms, x is common, so x will come out. Left with 2x here plus 1. X goes into x one time. Now what is common here? So we just write it there, 2x plus 1. If you look carefully, you see that the brackets are the same. So let's write one of them, 2x plus 1. Then let's write what is in front of the brackets. We have x plus 1. So let's equate them to 0. Now our 2x is equal to minus 1. Let's divide through. We want x. So x is equal to minus 1 over 2. And x is equal to 1. So the values of which the equation will be equal to 0 are minus 1 over 2 and then 1.